The commercial goat farming, why this topic has came into the scenario, the reason is that nowadays we see that the meat of the meat eating population in India, that is non-veg population of India, is very much increasing. So that is creating the demand for meat. In previous year, there were other options for the non-veg populations. But nowadays, with due to the restriction in the cattle transport and other things, regulatory requirements, the meat demand is now increasing for goat, because after chicken, this is the only option which is available in our country, which can give the meat to the large number of non-vegetarian population. So already in the traditional system, the goat farming is going on. Already we are having a very good position in the goat with respect to goat population, or whether it is we call it as a breed, number of breeds of goat. Already we are having much, but the commercial goat farming is new to India, which is now means very frequently being talked upon. So today we will discuss about the commercial goat farming, their prospects. Today we will talk in this respect regarding further. We will introduce what is the present status of goat farming in India, what are the special features of goat farming. As in before this session also, one of our esteemed participants asked that question, very pertinent question. So there are several other special features also related with the goats. So that we will discuss. Why the commercial farming is needed in today's scene, we have to know that also. Then after knowing that, we will discuss about how to start the goat farming, commercial goat in the commercial level, and further what are the prerequisites, what are the reason of failures. Yes, we don't have to talk only about positives, we have to also know about the negatives when we are going to any business. So we will talk about negatives also, how to make the successful commercial farm, and further points. So let us begin with the introduction of the goat. We know that goat is a multi-purpose animal. It provides meat, it provides milk, it provides skin, and the dung for agriculture. So it is multi-purpose. For any purpose we can use it. That is why I think it has been domesticated earliest, as I told previously also, that the goat is the first domesticated ruminant species which was dominated in the Neolithic period. So the India's position in goat population is in first position. So we are having around 14.8 crore, around 15 crore goats. With that, we are the first in world. And comparing the goat population with other livestock population in our country, the goat population are 25%. That is quarter of the livestock population of India. That is 52 crore around. So the number of goats are increasing continuously, census by census. Last census 2019 and previous census was 2012. So we see the increase of 4 to 5% annually. Instead of the fact that the slaughter of goat, I will show the number of goats slaughtered every year in India in coming slides. So even after the huge number of goats slaughtered every year, the number of goat are increasing. This shows that there is high interest in the rearing of goat nowadays. There are 37 known goat breeds. So considering the biodiversity, and this number is increasing day by day due to the effort of the NBGR, they are registering several breeds found all over the country. So this number is further will increase. So the biodiversity of goat is also very much in our country, and also they contribute significant to the livelihood of the rural population. So these are the some very important point regarding the goat farm. Coming to the economic aspect, also the goat farming is not very behind. The goat sector contribute around 8% to the livestock GDP through meat, through milk, through skin, through manure. And apart from that, apart from providing the economic contribution, it also contribute to the employment also. That is in particular to the rural employment, to small and marginal and landless laborers. And it has been seen that the goat enterprise can earn handsome return up to 1 is to 1.6. That is why the interest of now new startups, entrepreneurs is focusing, they are focusing towards the goat farming because it can earn handsome return if done on the scientific line. The household which are holding the goats are only after cattle and buffalo. This is the third number of the species which are reared most in our country. So as I said that what are the goat population is continuously increasing, but there is some difference when we see the states, different states. So if we talk about the top 5 states with respect to the goat population, the first number is Rajasthan. Second, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh. So we see, although in the these two bars show the previous census and the latest census. So we see, except Rajasthan, where the goat population declined 21 to 20. In all other states, either it is stable or increasing rapidly. But overall, we see the scenario, if we see the scenario of whole country, so we can see that the goat population is increasing. But the interesting thing is the male population is declining. This shows that choice for the male goat is much greater than the female goat. That's why they are being slaughtered more and their population is now declining. If we see the distribution of the goat population, we have talked that around 15 crore goats we are having, and this is the figure of 2019. So if we will see the today's figure, it will be much greater than this. So the northwest region and eastern region, these are the two regions of our country which hold most of the goat population. Now coming to what are the special features in the goat population, goat farming, commercial goat farm. So we will talk about the features, different features. Like first and foremost is they can survive in low input and scarce resources conditions. Means they don't need very sophisticated feed or housing or other things. So they can survive well, they can thrive well in limited resources, limited input condition also. They are found in the wildest ecological range. So if you see the northest part of our country, the southest part, eastern, western, everywhere you will find that the goat are everywhere, particularly in the north region, and we have seen that eastern region, they hold most of the this goat population. They are found in wildest ecological range. Further, there is no religious taboo in this non-veg eating population of any religion. There is no restriction of eating the goat meat. That is why the demand is huge. And equal value is offered for male and female. They have shortest generation interval among cattle, buffalo, sheep, any livestock, ruminant livestock species. They are the smallest generation interval. They can mature at 8 months of age, and after 5 months of pregnancy period, they give the kids. And though further among cattle, buffalo, and sheep, they are highest prolific animal. They mostly give twins or triplets. In any species of the by differing with some differences, they are having ability to provide twins. So they are more prolific also. And the last is poor man's cow. That is why they are poor man's cow, because they can survive in the lowest resource condition. They don't require much capital requirement to start any goat. That we discussed that compared to any other interval. If you compare the goat farming with the dairy farm require huge investment, capital investment. But goat farming can be started with the means just half of that capital investment. Further, likewise, I said that it require lesser capital requirement. Given their smaller size, they require less rent requirement also. They require less quantity of feed and concentrate. They can be reared in very normal facilities. They don't require very sophisticated kind of housing. Some feature you have to give and they can be raised. Unique ability to digest the lower quality feed stuff. So they can digest any kind of the crude fiber. They can eat even neem leaves. So any kind of leaf they can eat. Ability to accommodate in all kind of, as I said, that they are found in each nook and corner of our country. And ease in marketing. That is very much important factor in case of goat farming. You don't need to go anywhere to sell your product. Your product can be sold at your farm gate. So there is this much demand and you don't need to market your product. Already the demand, the person will find that I have to purchase from your farm. Just you have to call and your product will be sold. And already we know that goat can be sold at any time. That is why they are called as farmers ATM. Now coming to the any kind of farming, the product is very much important. So I told that this is a multi-purpose animal. It gives meat, it gives milk, and it gives skin. So let's talk about each of these products in brief. The goat meat is the meat of goat, that is called chivan. So it is referred to as the meat animal of India. Goat is also have been called in some literature as a meat animal of India. Why? Because it is the choicest meat and it has a huge domestic demand. As we see the meat production from, if we see the data, the meat production of the goat was 1.17, almost 1.2 million ton. That account for 13.72% of meat, including all kind of meat produced in our country. And total 10.36 crore goats were slaughtered in 2019-20. You see the total population is 14.88 crore and 10.36 crores goats were slaughtered in 2019-20. So even after this much slaughter, the population is still increasing. So the meat, goat meat, we have talked, it has a very good nutritional quality also. It is having the less cholesterol, less fat percentage, and it is the choicest as it is a delicious in nature also. Coming to the goat milk, this is a very untapped sector in goat farming, goat milk. Still in our country, goat milk is consumed at its origin only. So highest we are having, although we are having highest goat milk, we are highest goat milk producer country in the world. But the average yield is only 440 ml per day. This is why, because no selection have been made so far for the milk production in goat. Unlike the other countries where there are the breeds which can produce even 5 to 6 liter of milk per day. But in our country also, some breed may yield up to 3 liter, even 4 liter per day, like Jamnapari. And goat milk offers several health benefits. Several health benefits also have been documented, like it increases the platelet count. It is very much, it is highly digestible, easily digestible. It does not have any lactose intolerance. And also it used for the some kind of diseases in Ayurvedic medicines also. So in this respect, the goat milk holds higher value. In some part of the our country, in some particular seasons, some like dengue, during the dengue outbreak, we can easily see in the news that the goat milk is being sold at 1,000 rupees a liter, because there is shortage, no availability, no market is there. So, but it is being recommended during that time that patient has to drink the goat milk. So the market of goat milk is still has to come in our country. Now, goat skin. The further product is goat skin. Also, the used for very good quality skin is obtained from the goat, that can be used for shoes, shoe lining, gloves, bags, etc. And Tamil Nadu has highest number of tanneries for the goat skin. Here in this graph, we can see that 2.9% of the total milk production in our country, around 3% milk is coming from goat. But that is not being sold as a goat milk in our country. That is either consumed at its origin or mixed with the buffalo or cow milk as an adulteration. So that is the scenario. Coming to the meat production, we are second in the world after China. And as I told, that species-wise meat contribution is, that is 1.2 million ton. Goat contribute 13.72% of the meat coming from all the species in our country. Now coming to the point, why we need commercialization? Why to talk about the commercial goat farming? Why? Because we are having continuously increasing population. Now we are going to become first, means with respect to population, we will be becoming the first country in the world. So that is why there is huge pressure on the land, and the grazing land are shrinking. Common property resources are diminishing continuously, as different literature says, and we see also. So that is why we need intensification in goat farming. So that's why commercialization is needed to increase the goat productivity. In traditional system, the productivity is very, very poor. Like we have seen the milk production, also with respect to growth characteristic, there is very much lacuna, which can be improved. So to bridge the demand and supply gap. And productivity of goat is very low. As I said, that country would need to double the number of goat to meet the projected requirement of goat meat. So in coming future, this demand will be around 2050, it will be doubled. So we have need to produce around 2.5 million ton of goat meat to meet the demand. Create opportunity of self-employment also is there, and risk associated is less in commercial goat farming with respect to the traditional goat farming. But in today's scenario, India's total goat population, which is being reared in the commercial setup, is less than 1%. So it is still in its infancy and commercial goat farming, but it is now getting the momentum, and now in future it will be coming in the commercial setup. Because there is a scope of commercial goat farming in India, we are having more than 70% of non-veg population, ever increasing market price. The market price, the meat is being sold at 600 to 1000 rupees a kg for goat meat. There is huge scope of export also. In some part of our country, like southern region, the meat of this goat is being exported also. So there is less per capita availability. The demand will be, like here it is shown that demand will be 2.13 million ton by 2050. Also there are, I told that health benefits are also there. There is huge domestic demand also and export potential also. So due to these reasons, there is a scope of commercial goat farming. Okay, so now we have seen that yes, presently we are having very rich goat population also, and there is scope also, demand is also. So how to start a commercial farming? So here we have some tips for starting the commercial farming. First of all, you have to decide the budget and plan according to your budget. And first, you before going into the business, prepare a detailed business plan and get a training under the supervision of some specialist in university, KVK, anywhere. And clear with your aims and objective, whether you want to go for the meat production, milk production, or you want to set up a breeding farm. So you have to clear with your objective. Don't jump into the business. Start with some few numbers and slowly increase the numbers so as to get the experience and accommodate with the system. And decide the suitable breed for your region. I will discuss in coming slide that there are different kind of breed which can be used in the goat farming. So you have to decide the suitable breed with respect to your objectives, with respect to your region. Buy animals only from certified and known places. This is very much important. And it is inadvisable to bring a breed from very far distance. And vaccination of purchased goat is very much important if you are planning for a commercial goat farm. You have to research the market and demand price scenario in your area also. And the housing of your goat farm should be according to your requirement and your regional climatic condition. You don't need to plan very sophisticated building. You have to see your conditions, your budget, your climate, your requirements. So here are some breeds which are commonly used in the commercial goat farming. I think this all you are very much aware about these breeds like Jamnapari, Surti, Osmanabadi, Barbari. They are very much famous and being used and talked upon on several forums for the also the government is promoting their means rearing in commercial setup. So we are having, I told that this Jamnapari breed, which is found in the Etawah region, and it is very much famous for its milk production. It is very beautiful breed and having very the largest and tallest breed in our country of goat, and it weighs around 60 to 80 kg male and 40 to 60 kg female. Surti is also the average size, medium size of goat, which is famous for the milk and meat production. Osmanabadi is very famous in the Maharashtra part, and there are several farms coming up with the Osmanabadi breeds. Barbary is famous for its prolificacy, and it has a highest tuning percentage, and very much famous in condition of intensive type of rearing. It is very much adaptable. Jhakrana breed, Sirohi, Beetle, Black Bengal. Black Bengal is found in the eastern region of our country and very much popular in that particular region. And it is also a prolific breed of the goat. However, it is a smallest breed also, but its litter size and prolificacy is more. Sirohi is famous in case of Rajasthan area. There are several farms, breeding farm, meat farm of the Sirohi breed. Beetle is found in the Punjab region. Likewise, Jhakrana. These are the several breeds. There are several more breeds also, or indigenous breeds also, means nondescript breed also being reared in the commercial setup, and they are making the profit. So you have to decide with according to your requirement and your area. The breeds are available. This graphs depicts that distribution of different breed in different state. You see that in case this Uttar Pradesh, we have Barbary population and nondescript population. In case of this Maharashtra, we have Osmanabadi population, Barbary, and also the nondescript population. If we go to the Rajasthan, the dominance of Sirohi is there in the commercial goat farm. So this all depend on your state, your region. You have to decide, you have to choose your breed according to your region. And in this study also they have shown it don't means it does not depend much on in case of breed you rearing, but your management is very much important also with when you are going for the commercial farm. Third is the housing requirements. So that is very much means once one has to plan for the one is if someone is going for setting up the commercial goat farm, first question that is of breed, after breed is coming from the housing requirement. So what kind of house I have to make, what kind of setup, what is the space requirement, how much space I have to set the my shed. So there is no thumb rule you can set, but you have to follow some minimum guideline that the particular space requirement it is already available in the literature. So you have to see that yes, this space should be given this so that to allow the free movement of the animal in case of housing. So it should not be stressed or overcrowded. And some basic principle you have to know that long axis should be such that depending on the requirement of the solar, in most of the country the east west or northeast southwest direction have been suggested. You have to make open type of farm in most of the part of our country, but in case of this cold climate or in case of the heavy rainfall, this changes. Roofing material also depend on the climatic condition. Mostly thatch, asbestos, sheet is, and then height is very much important. So this is about the housing requirement. These are different kind of house. So as I told that there is no any means thumb rule that you have to make this type of house only. It all depend on your budget, your requirement, your climate only. So you can make any kind of house, but the basic requirement should be provided. Like loose housing, simple thatching and shed is provided, and this barn is provided. This raised platform, this is becoming very much popular, but it requires the large means more investment as compared to other kind of houses. So it is required to make in case of the rainfall, heavy rainfall area or hilly area. It is good, but in case of the drier area, it is not recommended. So these are some pictures. These are the, you can make the long shed. So you have to be very much cautious about the width of your house. It should not be more than 25 feet. But length you can make, and partition you can provide for different age groups for management purpose, for easy management purpose. This I made the layout for a particular kind of 100 goats. So in this case, you can provide, this is a very much long of 25-meter length, and 336 and 8.5 meter of this covered area, and another is this open area 4 meter both sides. So long shed you can construct, and partition you can provide an open area attached with that. Partition for different the age, like doe, for kidding does, pregnant, lactating, weaned, kidding, bucks. So you can provide partition wise, or you can, if you are having a good space, so you can construct at different at some distance also. This is the particular one side. Under that, the partition are provided, the central space and both sides. So these kind of the modern houses are becoming now popular, but it require the good investment. Capital requirement is means increased due to this kind of housing. So first, if you are starting, if you are expert, you suggest only for the means, don't go for this kind of means investment at first only. You start with some basic housing, and later on you can upgrade to this kind of housing. Like the feeding requirement also, you have to know the feeding requirement is 60 to 65% of the recurring expenses we know, and for every 100 rupees 60 rupees goes for feeding. So feeding, what you are feeding is important for production also and for your profitability also. So you have to know that what is the diameter requirement, DCP, TDN requirement of particular goat. You can give it by concentrate, dry roughages and green fodder. And if you increase the green fodder, if you increase the amount of green fodder, your cost of the rearing will be decreased. So goat likes any kind of tree leaves also. So you can utilize, if you are having access to the trees, you can utilize that for your feeding and reduce your cost. This is some example of the concentrate mixture, and we are, I think, running short of time, so we will escape this. Initial investment required for commercial goat farming. So I calculated for 100 plus 5 goat farm. So the total project cost was coming around 13.24 lakhs. So this include 3.4 lakh for the housing only. So this will be more or less depending on your housing types. So, but with this requirement, you can start with the, if you are having 30, if you are willing to start up for the 100 goat, you need this much investment. So this is the financial analysis of that particular project. So we are getting the BC ratio 1.37. The internal rate of return is 43%, which is very much healthier. And here one thing you see, that net income for the first year of this farm will be in negative. But in the coming year, it will slowly make up. And due to the capital invested in this year, that will be lesser. From 6th year onward, it will be generating good amount of income. Now let us have very important negative things. What are the reasons for failure? Several commercial goat farm starts every year. Out of 10, 8 fails. What are the reasons? they buy from any unknown resources. So that is not at all recommended. You have to buy only from the known places, certified places. You can do that. You go and means identify the animal. You can vaccinate at that particular site. You can give some amount, advance amount, and you can procure then animal after vaccination. 6 to 7 days you can procure. First, you have to get the proper knowledge. You have to discuss your plan with the expert. You have to get the proper training. Then only you have to start. Otherwise, it will prompt you to the failure. Improper health protocol. Health protocol is very much important. You have to assess the veterinary care, veterinary doctor with your farm only. So that then only your farm will be successful. No plant marketing strategy. Sometimes the farm fails due to the poor marketing strategy. They don't plan for market. Suppose that at particular like some festival season is there and the demand of goat meat is more at that particular season, and you are unable to give your product at that particular time, then you will be losing. Then high mortality due to the disease outbreak like PPR, diarrhea, pneumonia, tetanus in the beginning of the project. This again is the reason for the failure. Then the lack of personal attention of the entrepreneur, poor access to veterinary doctor, the low cost of the complete feed is not available. Means feed cost is also one of the factor. If you are having, means the goat farm will be more successful if you are having your own land for the fodder of animal, or if you are having access to some fodder area, or you don't purchase the feed from the market, then it will be there are more chances that your farm will be successful. So you have to follow the scientific protocol for health, housing, and feeding. Producing and marketing the pure breed goat is maybe a good idea for becoming successful. Capitalize the festive sale during Eid and Dussehra. Create market linkage with some kind of slaughterhouse or some market, and minimize the input cost through the production of green fodder. Use of the improved technology. So synchronization can give you more profitability, and some other technique, if available, you can use that to make your farm successful. So there are some interesting facts as we have started with the goats. Their first ruminant which was domesticated by a human, and they are excellent climber with the great balance. They can climb, they love to climb in higher places. They are intelligent animal, they can learn also. The pupil is of the rectangular type. Their vision is around 320 to 340 degrees. So they can have a wider vision compared to us. They can live up to 15 years. They don't like rain or water, and they are very much susceptible to humidity also. That's why they require more care during the humid weather condition. And it is believed that coffee was discovered by God. That is some interesting story, and that they are very picky eaters. They can choose your feed. They choose and eat from different kind of vegetations. In conclusion, we can say that goat have several advantages over other livestock species, and there is huge gap in demand and supply of goat, and India is bestowed with several goat breeds. Commercial goat farming can sustain as a good business, as we have analyzed also financially and technically, and careful planning and execution is only required to become successful. Thank you so much for your kind attention.